Let's talk about alkanes. Now, alkanes are saturated hydrocarbons, which are sometimes called aliphatic hydrocarbons. And as you learn more chemistry, you'll realize aliphatic or straight chain alkanes is the same thing. Anything that is not a ring is considered aliphatic. Now, let's break down alkanes. Hydrocarbon means that your alkane only contains hydrogen atoms and carbon atoms, right? Saturated. Saturated means that your alkanes only consist of carbon-carbon single bonds, okay? And the carbon has the maximum number of hydrogens bonded to it. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that, right? So let's explain what we mean by maximum number of hydrogens bonded to the carbon, which is what makes it saturated. So let's draw an alkane, an alkane. Notice I only have carbons and hydrogens, and I also only have carbon-carbon, carbon-carbon single bond, right? Let's draw an alkene. You'll eventually learn this group with the same number of carbons, right, as the alkane. So this is my alkane. Notice I only have carbon-carbon single bonds. This is my alkene. It has carbon-carbon double bond and an alkyne which has carbon-carbon triple. You learn alkyne and alkenes as you go through my channel. Now, let's look at what saturation really means. If you look at the carbons in your alkane, each carbon has 3 hydrogens. If you look at an alkene with the same number of carbons, it's 2 carbons, right? You will notice each carbon only has 2 hydrogens. Gets worse over here, each carbon only has 1 hydrogen, right? So this is what we mean by a saturated hydrocarbon, because this carbon has the most hydrogens when compared to your alkene and your alkyne, which is why these are considered to be unsaturated hydrocarbons. They don't have the maximum number of hydrogens on the carbon. We could look at this in terms of molecular formula if you wanted to look at it a second way. You have 2 carbons and 6 hydrogen. So that's C2H6. Molecular formula is just counting up the individual atoms here. H4, C2H2. Notice that the alkane has the maximum number of hydrogens for the same number of carbon in each one of these molecules. So your alkane, don't forget, it's a saturated hydrocarbon, which means it only has carbon-carbon single bond, and the carbons in the carbon-carbon single bond has the maximum number of hydrogens.